Johnny, we're back on the Cavalry. How are you doing, buddy, in the new studio?
I'm fantastic. Got a new studio, as you can see or hear if you're an audio listener.
Yeah, it's a good reminder if you are just listening. This whole podcast exists on YouTube, and so you don't need to just imagine how handsome we are and how cool our studios are. You can go see it on YouTube.
Yeah, instead of imagining while you're in the car or driving around, you can sit in front of your desktop computer and watch us.
Yeah, that is America's favorite pastime, watching podcasts on their desktop computers. But this is a big week for us because we've got our first listener.
Our first 5-star review that needs support.
So we should just get into it. Do you have it handy? Do you want to read it?
I have it right in front of me. It's from Kyle McClure. Big fan.
Let's hear it.
Long-time listener.
First time
reviewer. 5-star reviewer. Basically, he needs backup because his wife, they have a china cabinet. You read it, right? You can.
Yes.
If I say this stupidly, you can correct me. He has a china cabinet that they registered for a bunch of china at their wedding, however long ago, and he is unable. There's been no occasions at all that they can use it, and he's wondering why the hell they have the china, the cabinet, and why he can't put his Star Wars memorabilia, which he claims is more valuable, in it instead of the china.
Well, Kyle, you came to us for backup. Well, I'm going to start with the one I can back him up. I do think you should use your china. You should use it. There should come up with an occasion. Have a thing. We have plates. Someone gave us these plates. They're like really nice. They're gold plated. Oh, our friend Janet. I know who gave them to us. And somehow these were Oprah's plates. Mm-hmm. Oprah Winfrey owned these plates, and then they got passed down from somebody else to somebody else. So now we have them, right? But we don't just set them. We have Oprah's plates. Oprah Winfrey, the Oprah. We have her plates. They're like pretty gold with flowers on them, all sorts of stuff. And we don't just put them up. We use them. We use them you can't dishwash. Can't put them in the dishwasher. That's kind of annoying to me, so I don't like to use them a lot. You got to hand wash all these dishes. But I'm all for. What's that?
How often do you use them?
Honestly, for intentionally, we use them 4 or 5 times a year, I'd say, for holidays or when we don't have people over a lot.
But, and how many times accidentally?
Quite often, because we just run out of dishes. So that's a great way. If you really want to use your china, just run out of dishes, because we don't, sometimes we load up the dishwasher too much, or just we don't have that many plates. We use them a lot when we're just we need one more plate because we're out of clean plates.
Yeah, I agree. It's ridiculous not to use them. I think it sounds like he wants to use them, but his wife refuses. I think you just gotta use them. She'll walk in one morning and you're going to be eating cereal out of one of the saucers.
Or just slowly get rid of all your other plates.
Yeah.
So just go, why? Because, every once in a while you do lose a plate. I don't know how it happens, but it's weird. But you do just start to get short on forks. You just start to get short on bowls, whatever. So just start strategically losing a bowl here, dropping a plate there, to where you're forced to use the china if you really want to use it that bad.
You are welcome, Kyle.
Yeah, this is great advice. If you become a plate spinner, make that your big goal in life, and then spin plates. You're going to drop a few as you're practicing. You get good at it, right? Mm-hmm. That's something. But then, as far as putting the Star Wars or the Indiana Jones memorabilia into the china cabinet, I don't know, man. you got to pick your battles. You got to just try and use the China first before I try to force in my Star Wars collectibles. I had
Yeah,
the
and
old
we're not saying this insincerely or like we don't care, because I don't know about you, but like I understand. Like I have Jordans. I have a basement full of Jordans, and I have comic books, all sorts of stuff that I love and that I'm passionate about that I would love to display, but I'm not an idiot. Let's not
well,
not
I
gonna
think
happen.
there's yeah, you got to get stuff up there that'll fit in with the rest of it. So like I don't know how they do it. Do they make like Star Wars commemorative plates like the way like when royals get married, my mom would always buy like a plate with the two, like do they have plates like pretty ones like that? Maybe you could get those in there. Or like I went to Oktoberfest, like the big one in Germany, and I got like one of those actual big giant beer steins,
Yeah.
as a souvenir. And I snuck that up there on our china cabinet. Nobody's it looks kind of like it would belong amongst the rest of the stuff. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean much to me. It doesn't. I'm not that excited about it, but it's something I got that I got up
Yeah,
there.
you got
So
to
there you
put your
go.
mark on it.
Yeah, just put my stamp on things.
There you go.
That's all I'm trying to do. So anyway, I think we're backing you up there.
Yeah.
But thanks for the review. And if anybody else has something they need backup on, please leave a 5-star review and leave a comment, and we will shout you out on the show.
Yes. All right. Why don't you go first? What do you bring to the table, Andrew?
This is a hot topic, I think, all the time. But tipping is a very controversial subject sometimes. Some people about where to tip, when to tip, how much to tip, all sorts of things. I'm a 20% tipper at all times. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Doesn't matter the restaurant, how fancy, how not fancy. If they have an ability to tip or an expectation to tip, I tip 20%. But here's where I get a little bit of pushback from people is if the service is fantastic, I tip 20%, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the service sucks and they dropped the steak and they, poured hot coffee in my wife's lap and they were mean, I tip 20%. There is no difference. I never fluctuate because, and I've thought about why that is. It's because I'm tipping out of fear more than anything else. I tip just because I don't want anyone to think that I'm a bad person. And so I will tip 20% in any situation. If I like the service, if I didn't, it's not a reward-based system. It's not some sort of merit.
It's fear based on the company you're dining with.
I am afraid of the server not liking me.
Okay.
You understand? Or like just the word getting out there that, that asshole didn't tip. Like they're not going to understand the nuance of, actually they had a horrible experience and he was very angry. And so he left less than 20%. So my advice to surfers is if they see me coming, you do not have to try your hardest because I'm leaving.
And yeah, in fact, don't. It's in your best interest not to.
Right, because I will leave 20% no matter what.
Right.
Do you now see a lot of people go, well, no, then the whole point of tipping is to like reward the good service and try and ensure good service if they're not otherwise going to, you know what I mean? I think they don't know what I don't come in saying what I'm going to tip. I don't come in and be like, hey, just so you know, it's 20% no matter how hard you try. So I wouldn't go back there busting your ass. I don't say that at the start, but that is the case for me.
That's respectable. That's respectable because then, it's fair. It's like I thought you were coming out like it's a like I don't want to have to judge. I don't want to have to, it's just a median. Like some get above and some get less than what they deserve based on how hard they work. But you're just saying across the board.
No, yeah, 20%. And it's not really fair. It's not a fair system that I've devised because some people deserve more than others because of their skill or effort that they put in. But for me, it's all about just protecting myself from anyone thinking that I'm mean. So I leave 20% at all times.
It also prevents you from seeming like you have that attitude of, bring me this, like you're a king and you're like,
Yeah.
no, you are not worthy of my money, you peon.
Right. Well, and I have a lot of friends who were servers. My friend Mike, he'd always say the other thing that happens when I'm at a restaurant is like I really want the server to like me, and the meaner they are, the nicer I get. So like if they're very dismissive, I go, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you so much." And then the less they give me, the more needy I become, which I don't understand. So I'm trying to teach myself to just not give a shit. And if they give me that energy, I'll give it right back. Because
Right.
my friend Mike told me he was a server for a long time. He was like, the nicer the customers were, he was like, the worse the tip usually was. Like they were compensating for their own what they knew they were about to do. Like
Well,
they're like, I'm gonna screw you later, so I'm gonna be really nice to you now.
yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you. Have you ever been a waiter?
No, never waited tables.
See, I have, and I have. That's like my main job. Like since I started working, and until until I graduated college. But did it used to be 15%, right? Like that used to be the standard, and then
Yeah,
at some point it changed to 20.
it got bumped up there. I'm not sure when that happened, but yes, I remember. I mean, this could have been wrong, but I remember people were pretty big into 10%. Then like
We're
15% was
pretty
like
big into that,
they're
huh?
pretty big into it. They were very excited about the 10%.
It's very easy from a calculations
Oh
standpoint.
yeah, 15%'s a nightmare because it's like
Yeah.
20% is easier than 15%. But anyway, uh, so yeah, I don't know how it got bumped up. I don't know who.
Inflation, I guess. Well,
Yeah,
okay,
but
so
you're
I totally agree. I think that's admirable, 20% across the board. If you're going above and beyond, if you're like one of these super waiters, which I've worked with many of them, then you're a weirdo.
yeah.
You're gonna get your extra money from other weirdos that tip. Oh, let's give him 50%. That was so good. 20%'s good. I think that's great. I was a terrible waiter. I was quantity over quality. That was my theory. I was a waiter in New
Well,
York at a place called Dallas Barbecue, and it was near, I think, Broadway or somewhere, but where they would have plays. And at certain times of the night, when all the plays would get out, or before the plays, it would just get flooded really quick. It would fill up like that, and everyone would be like, yeah, can you put this in right away because we're trying to make the 8 o'clock, Wicked or whatever." And I'd be like, "Okay." So we would just get slammed, and I would just be, and then you just collect as many garbage $2 tips for terrible service as you can, and that was
uh-huh.
that was the name of my game.
Oh, so you mean quantity as in like just get as many tables as you can.
Yeah, get as
I thought
many
you meant you made up for
small
it like you
tips.
just bring them giant servings.
No,
Like,
no,
here's
the
your four steaks, sir. Oh my god, I only wanted one. Because I don't know if they give you the credit for that. Like they give more of that to like the chef,
no.
but okay.
And it was
Yeah.
easy. And one of my first jobs was at Pizza Hut, and my moral compass and my work ethic has matured since this. So I'll still share this story. But you used to be able to, you know, a family would come in and you would wait on them, and then they would tip you whatever, and you would say, "All right, have a great night, see you guys," and then you would go and delete all the drinks, all the breadsticks, and you would keep the difference.
Right. You were
So
stealing from Pizza Hut.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
I
Yes.
that's a quaint little story, but also a time in America when you could dine in at Pizza Hut. That blows my
Do they
mind.
not
Like
have that
Pizza Hut
anymore?
has like indoor. There's no. I've never heard of anyone like going to Pizza Hut like a restaurant.
I
Does
think
that
they are.
exist
I think
still?
they are there because I feel like I've been on the
Really?
road. I feel like I've been on the road. I've eaten at Pizza Huts alone.
What about
On
like are there Domino's? You've eaten at Pizza Huts alone. That is the saddest. But are there Domino's with like dine-in option? Are there like sit-down
I don't think
Domino's?
there is, but I mean,
Oh.
there used to be. I mean, you knew you could that there were ever dine-in Pizza Huts, right?
Yeah, because I vaguely remember like in old pictures and the big hut,
Yeah,
the yeah.
I don't think Domino's was ever. a dine-in restaurant.
The tipping can't be great at a dine-in
No.
Pizza Hut.
No. I mean, it's the waiters are all high school kids, don't know what they're doing. It's terrible.
Where did you
back in the 15% days?
Yeah, in the 15% days. Where do you land on like the whole as a former waiter? Would you rather just get rid of tipping and just like somehow put that just charge it on the bill and just make it automatic and take it out of the customer's hands? Or do you like the variance? Do you think you come out ahead on the variance of tipping, or would you rather just have the
Personally,
auto grad?
I personally come out ahead every time when it's included.
Oh yeah.
I will not get
Right.
that. And that was the thing. When I worked at that barbecue place in New York, they would include, if it's parties of 4 or more, they would include it. But it's like very, like you can't you have to look at the bill and be like, oh, and they would make you stamp it, a big stamp that says gratuity included. And I would always stamp it after they left.
A friend of mine, one time he went to some big bachelor party at like some stupid place in Vegas, like a Hooters or something, and the waitress, they had that message on the receipt, and it said parties of whatever more auto grad, gratuity included. But she had signed her name. You know how sometimes waiters sign their name on the receipt to like. First of all, I don't know why they do that. Like they're Babe Ruth or something. Like
right.
Autographing.
Had a blast with you, Tiffany.
What an experience we all had together, But the way she signed her name was to like cover up the autograd notification.
Oh, sure.
Very devious, but they caught it. But then, like, I don't like the autograd either, because then it's like, I know I'm going to tip automatically anyway, like the machine that I am. And
isn't the autograd usually 18% though?
Yeah, it's some weird number. Like they don't want to bring it up to 20% because that would be unacceptable to the American public. They're like, you can't force me to tip 20%. So then I have to like, now I got to add on a little bit to get to my 20,
So do you?
I try. Yeah, I'm sure I'm off, sometimes, but I do my best. But like, I don't even like it. I don't like it though, because I want the credit. I want the full credit for tipping. You understand?
Oh, right.
If
you want
they
them to know,
take it out of my hands
because I want to, not because I had to.
Right. And the whole point of this thing is for everyone to think that I'm like a cool, nice guy.
Right. I hate when that's taken away.
People don't taking that away from me. Right. So, but no, I think auto gratuity is probably the way to go for everybody, and just make it 20%. Make everybody tip like I do all the time.
So like, is your like nightmare worst day a day where you go out to eat, someone orders what you were going to order, and then on top of that, they auto gratuity it?
Right. And if it's auto gratuity at 20%, oh, what a nightmare.
Oh,
because I can't bring myself to go over 20%. That's breaking my whole philosophy. Unless we might get to a point in society where that's like the norm. But
over 20%,
pretty steep. Yeah, because we moved up from 10.
Yeah. Not to get off topic, but what's your thoughts on the whole tipping people that this is not a tipping job? You don't get gratuity for my candy bar at the Quick Trip or where, they're starting to.
Right. Well, it's so arbitrary, right? Because like there are jobs that are way harder that don't get tipped.
Mm-hmm.
Then, and then there are jobs that are like, I used to work at Best Buy, and I would carry out like these big giant TVs for people to their cars and load them into their stupid minivans where they already have 500 pounds of junk in there, and it didn't occur to these morons that like, oh, how am I going to get a TV in my van?
You know how my seats go down?
Yeah. And so everything smells like cigarettes and everything. So and they would never tip. Once in a blue moon would a guy tip in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But then that seems like it's a tip. I might have been biased because I was the one doing it. But that seems like this is a tippable situation. I'm carrying you didn't pay extra at Best Buy to get your TV carried down to your car. That's
but
a
you're
tippable
also
situation.
but you're also, if no one tips, you're still making a livable wage or making minimum wage. Whereas
Yeah.
waiters I was making $2.13
Well, that's
an hour.
insane. It's insane. I hope that that's different now, but it is insane that they're allowed to pay you less than minimum wage if you make tips.
Yeah.
That's insane. Because like you get your hair cut, right? And you
Yeah.
tip the hair cutter.
Mm-hmm.
I tip anybody they say you're supposed to tip, I tip.
Yeah.
Like I don't mess around. I don't want it out there once that I didn't tip the person. Like even if I see I got a bunch of dirt dropped off at my house, big pile of dirt. And that dude was a ninja with the dump truck. I mean, he's on a tight street with cars on either side, and he's able to like back it around a corner and dump it in the exact spot. I would have given that guy my entire stimulus check if I had it on me. I was so impressed. So I tipped him, but I didn't give him 20% of what the dirt cost me,
Right.
So I don't know. It's a tricky situation. I just gave him the cash I had on me.
Well, see, when the guys from Best Buy delivered our, because when we got that fridge, the guys from Best Buy delivered it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I gotta tip them. These guys, they're all sweaty and moving my fridge. They took the old fridge, so I tipped them, and then they leave. And Aaron's like, hey, I'm like, hey, the new fridge. Yeah, don't worry, I tipped them. And she's like, they destroyed the hallway. There's a ding in the fridge. They destroyed the hallway. So then, then we had to get it replaced. And so
that has nothing to do. See, that goes against my philosophy right there. This gets us back to what I'm talking about.
But then I got to tip the guys that replace it. It's different guys. Like, guys, I want to tip you, but this is the second time.
Right.
I equate it to be like, okay, yeah, my food's cold. So then I gotta tip them when they bring my cold food, and then you gotta tip them again when they correct it and bring the hot food.
Oh, I see. So now you're down 2 tips.
Yeah, I mean, I did because
then, like,
I wanted them to like me, like you said.
Right. You do it. It's way more important than the money. And the irony is, like, if you have a contractor over to replace those or to fix that hallway, they're not getting tipped. You're not going to tip a contractor. You know what I mean? It's just
That's a perfect example of a gray area. I had a guy come to fix a light switch, an electrician. What's the protocol? Are you supposed to tip people that come do house calls like electricians?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't think you are. I think people assume they're getting ripped off more by contractors, and so
so we have an understanding as a society.
Yeah, there's
don't tip them. You're ripping me off.
I don't know, man. But if once that becomes a thing, or sometimes people alert me to like takeout. I didn't used to really tip on takeout or hardly at all. Mm-hmm. But then my wife scolded me about it and stuff, and so now I'm 20% on takeout, and that doesn't seem right. Yeah.
Oh, I'm anti that. That's
it doesn't seem
delivery.
Right because why do they get the same
as?
I know, but it doesn't seem right because it's the waiters aren't doing any. You know what I mean? I'm giving the poor waiter is working way harder than whatever it took to get me the takeout.
Yeah,
but it's too late. Once someone establishes the precedent, it's over. I can't go back.
Yeah.
Nobody tips comedians, by the way. You know how many times I've been tipped as a comic?
How many?
We're going to where they are. We're traveling.
I have gotten tipped, but it's I can count on probably 2 fingers how many times in my career.
Yeah. I mean, I have. Yeah, people big shots. Sometimes if you're selling merch, they'll just give you extra money or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not like a standard practice. We don't have like a tip like these piano guys. Dueling pianos or whatever. They have a big ass tip jar out on the piano. It's full by the end of the show every time. What's stopping comedians from putting a tip jar on the stage?
I think we should start doing that when the ships come back and we work together.
I might do that. I might start putting tip jars on stage when shows come back.
If you have a joke you want to hear, just come up, throw a $5 in the bucket. I'll tell the joke.
Yeah, and if you don't like what I'm talking about, then come up and put more money in than the last guy, and I'll switch topics.
Yeah, I'll talk about what you want to talk about.
The more we talk about it, that actually sounds horrible. Just tip us. Just start tipping comedians. That's the point.
Don't make us.
No, my point is, it sounds like you're backing me up, but the idea being tipping's not really merit based. I take all evaluation of skill out of tipping. It's just pure guilt and tipping out of fear.
That's fine. I of course I back you up. That's logical.
Okay, perfect.
All right, here's where I need support. I don't know.
Serious.
I'm really swinging for the fences here. Pets. I think that having pets is stupid.
Oh no.
Now, granted,
this is gonna be so hard.
See, well, here's the thing. Like, I have a dog. I've always had pets. I've always had pets, and I'm happiest when we first get them. And like as a kid, when we first get them, and I pretend I'm going to feed them every day, and I'm going to walk them, and I do for the first 3-4 days, and then it just became my dad's problem, and then I had a dog. But now I'm like an adult, and my wife she wants to, if she had her way, we would live on a farm and rescue every handicapped animal on the planet. We have Batman, our pug. He's 8 years old. We just spent, I don't know, $1,300 getting 12 teeth removed from his mouth, because his breath smelled like shit, absolute shit all the time.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Do you brush your dog's teeth?
Absolutely not.
The one time the vet told us we should be brushing our dog's teeth.
They told us that too.
How often did your vet tell you should be brushing your dog's teeth?
Every time he sees the vet, they say.
No. I mean, like how
how often should we do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. These are questions
our vet
for
said
Aaron.
Every night. They said every night. Like as often as I brush my own teeth, we should be brushing.
Do you?
No, God, no. No. Every once in a while, if her breath's really bad, we go, all right, Jesus, let's go for it. Let's try and brush her teeth. And she hates it, by the way. But
yeah, of course she does.
I was like, in what world is someone brushing their dog's teeth every day?
Right. The best I'll do is Aaron has, but the best I'll do is get those like snacks. That's like, this your green, this brushes your dog's teeth as they eat it. Oh, okay.
Which, what are the odds that those do anything?
Exactly. I don't care.
Yeah.
It eases my conscience. So we got Batman, and like if I just let my guard down, if I didn't keep pushing back on we don't need more dogs. We have a dog. We have 2 guinea pigs. Edie has 2 guinea pigs. And Aaron's it's constant. Oh, we got to get a big dog. Batman's lonely. Like, come on. He's not lonely. He's 8 years old. He's a cranky old man. He doesn't want more.
Right. I know for sure. We have a dog named Trudy, and I know for sure Trudy is not lonely. We take her to the dog park, and she just looks at us like, why would you ever think I wanted to run around with these gross, dirty animals? She has no interest in other dogs. And I'm pretty sure if we brought another dog into the house, she would view it as a betrayal. But so you're over. So, go ahead.
Here's the other thing. Here's my main thing. Like, I have children. I have 3 children. You get it. I mean, essentially every pet we get is a time bomb, right? At some point,
oh my God,
everyone in the house is going to be sad. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
It comes back to the age old. Is it better to have loved and lost or never loved at all?
That's why if my wife and I have kids, I will never introduce them to their grandparents. I don't want to create a situation one day where they're sad.
So they will never meet them.
I relate to that a lot. There, I'll give you total backup on that, because my wife will like keep herself up at night imagining our dog Trudy, one day we will, if everything works out, outlive our dog. And she like already is dreading that experience, and like tries not to think about it as much as possible. And it's like a thing. It's like it weighs
Yeah.
her currently, and Trudy's only like 6. So
Yeah.
I get that. You said 1,300. Let me ask you another question about it. It is kind of. I mean, I can't go fully with you because my wife would kill me if I said having pets was dumb. But what I will agree with you on is
Maybe I worded that poorly. But my point is I don't want dogs, and I feel
things about owning.
I shouldn't be looked at as a Cruella de Vil because I don't want to live on a farm with.
Well, I was resistant to getting our dog at first, just because like all the things, like I'm on the road too much, and who's
That's a huge
care
thing.
of it? Yeah. But let me ask you a question too, about the money. So I think I'm a sucker for this, but I have pet insurance. Have you ever looked into pet insurance?
We've talked about it.
It's like it's like the only scam bigger than like American health insurance is pet insurance. They don't cover, like, I pay like $35 a month, and I have no idea
dog?
For my dog, and I have no idea what or why. Every time something happens, I submit a claim. They go, "Yeah, we don't cover that," or "We'll add that to the deductible." I'm like, "Deductible? How much money?"
Gosh.
Like, basically, I pay for it though, because they could come to us and be like, so this is the part that is dumb about owning pets, but they could say, "Hey, she's got this rare disease. We can bring this doctor in to cure her, but it's going to cost $150,000, and you're going to have to sell your house or just be in debt for the rest of your life." And we would just do it. Whatever the number, you could make up any number. You can think of a number right now, and that we would do it. We would do it if we could. Well, do whatever we could.
Clearly, so that's why I am trying to get support from the wrong person.
I know. It is a insane situation we find ourselves in.
When I heard it's $1,300 for these teeth to get pulled, I was like rehearsing my goodbyes to Batman.
Well,
you had a good run, bud.
So that's even worse, because like the alternative is that he just has bad breath.
Right. But I would opt to have him put down.
Just put him down.
Just put him down. Oh no, he's healthy. No, you know what? He would have wanted this way.
There aren't enough greenies in the world for.
But like, so we did obviously we did it or whatever, and then but then I was like, all right, just coming from a logical standpoint, Aaron, we have to decide what our number is. If future problems come up, what's our breaking point? Because you can't decide that once you know you can't say, well, is that too high? You have to know ahead of time so that you can say, oh, that's higher than,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
did you get to a number?
Sounding like a monster. What?
No. But did you get to because that is not a fun conversation to have, and I've had that conversation, and the number is infinite. There is no number. That's what I found out. There isn't a number. So that's why I have
my heartlessness is being balanced out by your saintliness.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying me. This is mostly, coming from my wife, but.
We have not come to a number because I bring it up and she said, we can't talk about this right now. Like, it's the same thing with that
sounds like there's no number. That sounds like you're paying whatever it ends up being.
From her, yeah, there probably is no number. But it's like I have a thing on my desktop. My brother's a lawyer, or my brother-in-law is a lawyer. He's like, oh, you got to have your will and your testament, all that stuff in place. It's just, God forbid anything happens, have the talk, do it, and then don't worry about it ever again. And it's been on my desktop, and I'll talk with Aaron. I'm like, hey, can we just fill this out so we have something, just God forbid something happens, so it's all secure. We don't have to stress about it. It's just a talk that we don't want to have, and so we don't have. So if something terrible happens, it'll be worse off because we never planned for it.
Yeah. If something terrible happens, your kids go to the state or something.
Yeah, instead of their godparents or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I tried my best. I did not do a great job backing you up there, but
I went into it knowing
it was a tough position to defend. I've gotten equal. Oh, this is perfect. Speaking of teeth and tough positions to defend. I'm going to be a little vulnerable here, and I wonder if you're going to be with me or not. I really am curious because I feel like I know you pretty good, but I actually don't know where you are on this. But I rarely floss. Are you a consistent flosser?
I am. I would say twice a week. I would say twice a week.
I'm.
Well, what are you looking?
Floss.
What are you looking for here? Like someone to agree that flossing's terrible?
Yes, because I've looked into it. Now, my contention is I have great teeth. By the way, I have rarely get cavities. I have you go to the dentist. Usually they think that I floss. A lot of times I go to the dentist. They go, "Oh, you're doing a great job." They aren't giving me any feedback. Like they're not like, "Oh, dear God, you have not flossed in weeks." I never hear that. And I heard this study on NPR one time that said they took random samples of people who floss, don't floss, and they have like the same end game on their teeth. Like they have the same, you're just as likely to have good teeth if you floss if you don't floss. So my wife is an impeccable flosser. She flosses like 3 times a day. And also, by the way, she does not care about the room she's in. She'll floss in any room, which I'm like, that's grosser than me not flossing, but whatever. So and I didn't know what I was expecting from it, but 2 times a week is kind of weird. I think you either floss
I'll tell you why.
ever.
Let me tell you why. My wife is like yours. She's she does it once a day. She's a nightly flosser. Yeah. And she has no problem telling me, I don't know how I haven't just jumped off a bridge thinking I'm the grossest person in the world because I'm married to her, because she, has no problem telling me when she's disgusted. She's like, I haven't seen you floss. And so I do floss, but it's not out of hygiene. It's out of like, if we happen to be going to bed at the same time, we're both brushing, then I will floss so that she sees that I'm flossing. So she doesn't think,
Yeah. I'm the same way. I do it to, and like if there's something in there, for sure. If, like you eat popcorn, you got to floss, like those situations. But otherwise, I don't know. I think my teeth are really close together. So like it is difficult for me to get floss in there. I don't know. But I wasn't sure. I don't even like saying it because it sounds gross when you say you don't floss that much. But I think I have pretty good teeth. Like I go to the dentist when they say they don't. Yeah. There's usually no problems, So why
aren't there snacks you can eat so that you don't have to floss?
I have these little greeny sticks that I chew on. They're pretty good.
Well, also, my mom was a dental hygienist. My brother is a dentist, so like,
I forgot that. God, see, that's
teeth in my family.
I'm going for the wrong person on backup on this, I think. So your brother's a dentist.
Yes.
And so he's like all in on Team Floss. He hasn't looked at the same research I have.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he says you should, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know why do dentists even tell people to floss? All that does is hurt their business,
Good point. Yeah. They should be like, it does nothing.
Yeah, that's like a window repair guy being like, fix your own window. Aren't I good at analogies?
Man, another stellar analogy. It's like a window repair guy saying,
just come to me.
Fix your own window. It's just like that.
Yeah, because they're both losing business,
No, it would be like a window repair guy saying, put up a guard to protect your windows.
So, yes, that makes more sense.
It's still not very good, but
right. But it's better than go fix your own window.
Better whatever bullshit you tried. All right. So anyway, maybe I'll floss tonight. This will be good inspiration and make everybody happy.
You can tell. Well, if it's been too long, is when you spit, it's just all red.
Oh, I know. But then I'm like, okay, now you floss twice a week, or your wife floss every night. When she goes to the dentist and they do and they get in there with the metal scraper, Has she got any bleeding there, or has she got no bleeding because she's conditioned the gums?
I don't know.
Flossing all the time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm usually not there. She doesn't tell me about it.
You guys don't go to the dentist together? Ouch.
Yeah, we're kind of
Rebel in paradise.
Yeah, we'll get through it. It's just a bump. It's just a
Yeah,
bump in the road.
we're very
You know what? You know
romantic
what I
that
have
way.
done. I'm assuming my wife's not going to listen to this, but like if I'm like, oh, she hasn't seen me floss in a while, and I'm tired, I just want to go to bed. Is I'll take out floss and
Oh
I'll
my
rip
God.
it off and I'll just drop it in the toilet so she sees it.
That's the laziest thing I've ever heard of in my life. But you know what? I might steal that.
There you go.
That's really good.
Yep.
She will hear this, and then she'll start doing like forensic files on the floss and like picking it up with tweezers and looking for
Yeah.
evidence.
Looking for
Doing
blood.
a DNA swab.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. What do you got?
All right. I got. Let's see. This is between two. All right. All right. So this is all right. So I'll just do this. So this will be a quick one since we've gone for a
Okay.
while.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going a little long here, so we should.
It's my belief that Captain America is nobody's favorite superhero. And that's all. That's it. That's all I need back. Like he's great, but
Oh
it's like
yeah.
such nobody's favorite is Captain America, right?
Well, one, he's a big nerd.
He's a nerd.
What's his big thing? Patriotism.
Yeah.
What? That's
Yeah.
pretty nerdy. Two, like he's married to this Captain America thing. Like I got news for you. America's going through some rough spots.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be so cool to be pro America. But then three, I also don't like his I'm totally the more I think about this, the more I'm with you.
Yeah.
His powers are really stupid because he's just like a kind of
a super
really
soldier.
strong guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's only a super soldier because he was such a dipshit weakling beforehand. It's only by comparison.
Right.
Right?
But then why and they never really gave a good explanation why they just couldn't make like a million Captain Americas.
Yeah. And why did they I guess they picked him because he was like super nerdy patriotic, but like imagine if they had done that to a guy that was already big and strong.
Right. What if you put The Rock into the Captain America chamber and made him the Captain America? Then he would be like too rock, He'd
Plus
be like
just
huge.
Yeah. Plus Captain America, that just seems like stupid, like someone who was in a hurry to come up with a new hero. Like that's not cool.
Right. Chief Earth.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the reason why he sucks the most.
Why is that?
Again, this is so easy. It's like it feels like shooting fish in the barrel. His big weapon is a shield. I mean, that is so stupid. When you see those movies and everybody else is shooting like Iron Man's shooting like nuclear missiles at the bad guy, and then here comes Captain America like with his shield. You're like, oh, what are you doing? Really, what are you doing out here?
Yeah, why are you're using a frisbee? That's your weapon?
Right. Defense. The best offense is a good defense. I mean, it's just total jackass shit. I could not. I haven't really even thought about that before, but the shield thing really pisses me off.
Yeah, it's really irritating. He's such a d-bag. I'm glad we could
Captain America. So who's your favorite's Batman, right?
Oh yeah, that's a whole episode right there.
Batman
I don't know.
is like
Superman.
the opposite of Captain America.
Superman. How is, maybe that's the better one. How is Superman not everyone's favorite?
I think it's because of the same thing. It's because Superman's not everyone's favorite because he's too powerful, I think.
It's great.
It's like well, yeah, no, I know. But like it's like every time they do a Superman movie or like any Superman situation, they always have to do some creative. They have to write around the fact that he couldn't just solve all the problems in 2 seconds. It's like, oh, they have the one thing that makes him sick, or he was on vacation for the whole movie and just came back right when. It's the same thing with Professor X. Every X-Men movie, because Professor X could just literally go into everybody's head and make them do whatever they want, or he could pause the entire planet, and so you could fix any situation in 2 seconds. But then, except for Magneto has a helmet, so that's the one guy his brain can't penetrate the helmet or whatever. But
they always have. It's not my fault that they invented this guy that has every power and is invincible. That's their. Yeah. They shouldn't have made him up. But he's out there, so of course he's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, here we go. That's like saying
it's gonna be great.
That's like saying, oh, you can't have the Bulls be your favorite team back in the freaking 90s. That's not fair. They got Jordan, they got Pippen,
Huge upset there. You came up with like a great analogy. I think that was a perfect analogy. Everyone is shocked at how good that analogy ended up being.
That I didn't sound like an absolute dipshit.
But sports, that's a great point. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't like the teams that win all the time. A lot of people hate the Yankees and the Cowboys or like the Warriors.
Yeah, that's hipster douchebags that are like, oh, I don't like, I just want to like who no one likes. Because I want you to know who I like and be like, wow, no one likes them. He does. He's so cool.
How unique. Cool. I just want to be liked. But I'll tell you what, I'm 100% backing you up on the original take, which is that Captain America sucks. And there's no situation where the Avengers wouldn't have been fine without him.
Yeah. They should release a cut like the Avengers Endgame without Captain America. And it's just the same, except without as many pep talks.
I know. Yeah, the pep talks are corny. The name is corny. The shield is corny.
The costume's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They did as good as they could in the Avenger movies. I was expecting, that old 1970s movie. I was like, oh, how are they gonna he's the dumbest superhero.
Plus it's very like I don't know what it's called. Ethnocentrist, maybe. I'm not smart enough to know the word, but
you said it and I don't know what it means.
We're we're the United States of America, in North America. It's not like they should be more specific. You should be the Captain
North America,
United States of America, not like Captain America, because then like Canada's like, well, he's not our guy. There's countries in South America who's not our guy.
Yeah, those aren't our colors. Take that, Marvel.
Take that, Marvel from 70 years ago.
Well, good. You know what? I feel supported. That's all I needed.
Oh, that was an easy one.
I'm not surprised.
All pets are horrible and should be killed. It was a harder one for me to get.
You struggled with that one?
The Captain America one, that was no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta stop saying my. It's not that I'm not anti-animal. I just don't want them to be mine. Like I want everyone else to adopt the animals. I'll look at them. I'll pet them. I'll be like, oh, it's so cute, and then I'll be able to go on vacation without having to book a doggy daycare.
I'm a real animal activist, because I was advocating for meat and poultry farms where they only take half.
Yeah, where
they only cut off one wing of the chicken. Right?
Oh, I remember. I remember.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that was pretty good. I think I'm with you on. I know what you're saying when it comes to the pet thing, though, and that's the important part. I don't think you're a monster, Johnny. I promise. Don't worry.
That's all I needed.
But if you think Johnny's a monster, make sure to leave a 5-star review and a comment, and let us know.
Explain why and how.
And thanks everybody for listening. Like we said, we do like when you leave comments, and we can shout you out on the show. And you can subscribe to if you like watching these. I know a lot of people prefer YouTube for podcasts, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'd help us out too.
Yes, got to get our numbers up.
Got to get those numbers up.
If our numbers get high enough, we'll start coming out with merch, baby. Cavalier shirts.
If our numbers get high enough, we promise we will at some point stop doing this.
That is our promise to you.
That is our promise. So, all right, buddy. Good work.
All right, buddy. Good job. I feel 50% supported. I can sleep with that.
And that ain't bad.
That ain't bad at all. That's passing. Actually, it's not.
No, but good analogy.
Thank you. All right.